So when we talk about alternation of generations in plants, the key thing to remember is that they're nothing like us. Plants are nothing like animals in how they reproduce. They kind of do it their own weird way, but you know what? It works. No judgment. So plants will have two distinct stages to their life cycle. They will have what we call the gametophyte stage, which is a haploid stage, which means they have only one copy of each of their chromosomes. The other main life cycle stage that they have is what we call the sporophyte stage. This is their diploid stage of their life cycle. So this will look different. This process of flipping back and forth between gametophyte stage and sporophyte stage will look different in different lineages of plants, but they all kind of follow a same general theme. The gametophyte stage, the haploid stage, produces gametes. Remember, gametes are sperm and egg. Those sperm and egg come together sperm, which don't always swim, but that's fine. Egg, each haploid, they come together through the process of fertilization to produce the next diploid life cycle stage. Sperm and egg are haploid, so the gametophyte produces the sperm and egg through the process of mitosis. Okay, gametophyte produces sperm and egg through mitosis. This might be different than what you've learned before. Usually when we talk about animals, they produce their sperm and egg through meiosis, but we're not talking about animals here. We're talking about plants. Plants do it their own way. Okay, so sperm and egg fertilize. Yay, new life. Okay, then we get the diploid single-celled zygote. This is the beginning. The single-celled zygote right here is the beginning of the sporophyte stage. This single-celled diploid zygote then goes through mitosis to produce the sporophyte life cycle stage, which is usually multicellular and looks different in different types of plants, but it'll be multicellular. It's going to go through mitosis to increase the number of cells, right? 2, 4, 8, 64, so on and so forth, right? Then there will be specialized cells, so more mitosis, more mitosis. There'll be specialized cells in the sporophyte called, well, specialized tissue in the sporophyte called the sporangium. Which contain sporangium's tissue. The sporangium contains the sporocytes, which are the specific cells that go through the process of meiosis. So meiosis, remember, reduces our diploid chromosome number into haploid cells. So sporocytes go through meiosis to produce haploid spores. Guess what? These spores go through mitosis to get back to our gametophyte stage. Spores go through mitosis to get back to the gametophyte stage, and then they go through another round of mitosis to produce the gametes. Okay, if you're like, oh, I totally forgot mitosis versus meiosis, let's do a quick review here. Okay, so in most eukaryotic cells, we will have 2 copies of each chromosome. I'm going to draw them in different colors here. But the idea is, so like humans, we have 23 pairs of chromosomes, but in diploid cells, we have 2 copies of each chromosome. So diploid will be summarized as 2N. One you get from one parent, the other you get from the other parent. They come in what we call homologous pairs, which means they'll have the same type of information. So the same type of gene will be in the same, basically same location on each chromosome. Okay. Again, humans have 23 pairs, so 23 chromosomes, and that common sets of 2 for a total of 46. But in order to reproduce sexually, we need to reduce this chromosome number by half. So that's where meiosis comes in. Meiosis reduces, basically separates those chromosomes, and it produces 4 haploid cells. Those little blobs are supposed to be chromosomes. I didn't do the best job drawing them. So it produces 4 haploid cells, each with one or the other of each set of chromosomes. So, for example, in humans, I know I said not to relate the alternation of generation humans, but if we think about chromosome number, I think it helps to think about humans. We would have, in our normal body cells, we would have a total of 46 chromosomes. In human gametes, each gamete, each sperm or egg cell has 23 chromosomes. So we take that 46 number and we divide it by 2. Okay, meiosis reduces the chromosome number by half. So that way when these cells recombine again, we go back to having a diploid cell. 2 copies of each chromosome. The other type of cell division is mitosis. So in mitosis, again, we have our 2 chromosomes. So diploid cell, or haploid cells can do this. So if we have only one chromosome, haploid or diploid cells can go through mitosis. Mitosis is making exact copies. So if this is one cell, in mitosis we make 2 copies of that exact cell, whether it's diploid or haploid. Both diploid and haploid cells can go through mitosis, and they make exact copies. So this would get 1 copy of that chromosome. This would get 1 copy of each of the chromosomes. Okay, so mitosis increases cell number and makes exact copies. Whether it's diploid or haploid or triploid, doesn't matter. All cells can go through mitosis just to increase their cell number. But only diploid cells, only cells that have 2 copies of each chromosome, can go through meiosis. Okay? Because we can't reduce this chromosome number at all. We can't do that. Only diploid cells can go through meiosis, but all cells can go through mitosis.